Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's edition of Ureeka Connect. We're switching it up this time. My name is Travis, and I will be your host this afternoon.
Woohoo!
Exciting!
Yay!
We're super excited to be doing Ureeka Connect, especially this month. If you're not familiar with Ureeka Connect, it is our way of connecting entrepreneurs and small businesses to opportunities for funding. We host them on a monthly basis, and so if you want to join, keep an eye out on the next one. Please join our community, community.ureeka.biz/registration. This is a mission-driven event, and we specifically focus on connecting entrepreneurs from underrepresented backgrounds to opportunities for funding. This month is a special edition in recognition of Pride. We are joined together by incredible entrepreneurs, which I'll introduce you to later, and also to our incredible panel of judges. Just to give you a bit more background on Ureeka Connect, this is actually our fourth one. The last one we hosted was back in April, and we had three incredible entrepreneurs representing Well-Found Foods, Andra Celeste New York, and Commune, all of which were introduced to venture capitalists, and all of them received a pass to have a conversation for due diligence and investment. Today's Ureeka Connect, we're focused on LGBTQ businesses, and the good news is every entrepreneur will receive funding today. They're competing for the top prize of $5,000, and the second and third place finalists will be going home with $2,500. This is not a bad way to go through your week. And so for today, what does the agenda look like? Each entrepreneur will have 7 minutes to pitch. I'll be keeping track of the time, and the judges will have 5 minutes to ask the questions that they have. They will use that opportunity to understand the business better and use that to inform their scores. After all the pitches are done, the audience will have an opportunity to select their favorite while the judges tabulate their scores, and we will announce the winners. So are you ready to meet the judges?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so starting with Justin, I'm going to have each of the judges introduce themselves, but we have three incredible judges today, and I'll start with Justin from the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and he will tell us a little bit more about it.
Hey, great. Thanks, Travis. Justin Nelson here, the co-founder and president the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We are headquartered in Washington, D.C., and represent the interests of the estimated 1.4 million businesses owned by LGBT Americans. And we do that through 50 affiliate chambers across the country, and we're now up to 18 global affiliates. So if you're watching and you're not connected to your local chamber, please visit www.nglcc.org. Find out how we can connect you to a network of opportunity across the country and around the globe. Proud to be here and excited about these exciting businesses that are pitching, all three of which are certified LGBT-owned businesses through NGLCC. So thanks, Travis.
You're welcome. And next we have Naima.
I can unmute myself. Hello, my name is Naima McQueen. I'm the executive director for a 501c3 nonprofit called Alliance for Community Development. I also serve as the co-chair of the programming board for the San Francisco chapter of Start Out, which supports LGBTQ entrepreneurs here in the Bay Area and actually across the country with programming around business development, funding, social connection. And then Alliance, we provide resource navigation at no cost to entrepreneurs, particularly underserved entrepreneurs, connecting them to the wealth of resources that exist here in the Bay Area. So I'm incredibly honored and extremely proud to be here.
Thank you, Naima. Next, we have Carlo.
Hi, everybody. My name is Carlo Demore. I'm the creative director and founder of Live in Theater. We are an experiential live events company that has definitely been hit by this COVID pandemic, but we are adapting. A lot of the work that we do are event-driven experiences for clients, corporate clients, educational clients, people looking for something unique to do. We've been in operation for about 10 years, based in New York City, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas. And I am thrilled to be here. The majority of the work that we do is about marginalized communities. Being a member of the LGBTQ community is an honor, and I am super stoked to hear some pitches.
Thank you, Carlo. And now we're going to actually hear from the entrepreneurs. We have 3 finalists today representing Stealth Bros & Co., Playout, and 5 North Chocolate. So the first to present will be Braxton from Stealth Bros & Co. And I'm going to make sure that you have the ability to control the presentation.
Okay, so everybody can hear me, right?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, so hello, my name is, oh, I didn't move that.
That was me. Sorry. Here you go.
That's okay.
There you go.
Okay. All righty. Okay, let's get started. Hi, my name is Braxton Fleming. I'm founder and CEO of a company called Stealth Bros & Co. Imagine, if you will, you're someone who's transgender, diabetic, or going through IVF therapy. And whether it's daily, weekly, or bi-weekly, you need to inject yourself with medication. So imagine you're on a plane flying from New York to London and you have to self-inject. Well, you have everything that you need and you head to the laboratory and you self-inject. But where do you place your used needle tips? You can't just place it in the garbage can because that's unsafe and unsanitary. One option is to put the used syringes back into the container that you brought it in, but now you're mixing it with your unused syringes. The other option is to carry 2 containers, one for used, one for unused. Bulky and just potentially confusing. This particular conundrum, not just for transgender individuals, but the multitude of the populations that have to inject medication multiple times a day or week. I myself, as a trans man, was in need of a specific product to hold my hormone replacement therapy, which requires weekly injections. Having a safe, discreet, and organized carrier to hold and dispose of medical sharps is a necessity for those on any injection protocol. Okay, let me make sure. Oh, okay, go to my next slide. All right, so our mission here is to keep your personal belongings discreet, neat, and organized to allow the individual,
Oh, there you go. 1 second. Let's see. There you go.
Okay, so I'll just start from there again. Our mission here is to keep your personal belongings discreet, neat, and organized to allow the individual to feel safe and stylish wherever they may go. Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of a background on how Stealth Bros got started. As it happens to be, both of my parents are entrepreneurs, and when I was a kid, my dad and I always talked about building a successful business. And he always said, you have to find the need and then fill that void. So when I started my medical transition going on 5 years ago now, a big part of the protocol is taking hormone injections weekly or bi-weekly. I knew that I wanted to do something within my community, but I wasn't sure what that would look like. So about after a year, I was watching trans men online, and I was realizing that they had no good place to store their hormone replacement medication. And I was feeling the same thing. So I head to Marshall's to find a bag to specifically hold my hormone replacement therapy needs, and I just could not find anything. At that moment, I knew that I had something. I had to create something for my community, and that's when Stealth Bros was born. I started to look into manufacturers for the type of bag that I wanted, while reaching out to different trans men in the community, asking them their opinion on this specific type of product. They all gave me so many affirmations that I stepped up my search and finally found a manufacturer. The only problem is that these manufacturers wanted me to purchase over 1,000 products. I couldn't afford it. So I I told them all I could afford is 300 bags. I begged and pleaded with them and promising them that I would come back with a larger order. Somehow they agreed. I took my credit card, maxed it out, and decided to take the plunge, and I placed that order. The first 300 bags in a little over a month sold out, and I was able to make good to my manufacturer and come back with a larger order. That was 4 years ago, and I have not had to put one penny of my own personal money back into this business. Now I want to share with you some of our products. Junior Dops here holds a specific place for everything you need to make shot days simpler, right in the palm of your hand. This allows for week-to-week injections to be more organized and ready when you are, and it's also great for travel. Then we have our original Dops. The original Dops is made to hold all your bulk supplies, so your bulk syringes, your bulk Band-Aids, needle tips, whatever you may have. You can use this to resupply your Junior Dop for week-to-week use or just to have by your bedside table. We also created something called Stealth Sharp Shuttles. This approximately holds 20 used needle tips, and you can open it as many times as you like. But once it's sealed, it's locked for good, and then you can properly dispose of your needle tips. So now eventually people with other issues began to reach out and asking for these products. And I was getting requests from people going through IVF, people that had diabetes. So now I'm getting ready to do an ad campaign for Facebook and Instagram geared towards those specific communities. It has been an untapped market for me up until now. All of my marketing has been focused on transgender community and influencer marketing. But with professional paid social marketing is one of the initiatives I will use this grant for. Here are some statistics of prospect clientele. According to the CDC, 34.2 million people, or 10.5% of the US population, have diabetes. 1.5 million of these people per year are diagnosed with diabetes. CDC also states estimates are that more than 500,000 babies are now born each year from IVF. Not to mention that about 1.4 million people identify as transgender. This brings me here. Why am I here? My business has been sustaining itself without any professional marketing or advertisement over the past 2 years and growing. With proper marketing and capital, Stealth Bros can reach immeasurable heights. Our gross revenue for 2018 was $53,241. That following year in 2019, we also made $52,343. As you can see, sustainability with the proper professional capital and marketing, our projection is limitless. As I mentioned earlier, when I became a part of the trans community, I met a lot of amazing people, and I really wanted to do something that would be of service to my community. I've spent my career as a nurse self-injecting, so it wasn't a big deal for me. But for many people medically transition, it's very, very terrifying. So I created my product so that someone could have everything they needed for their injections in an organized way. These DOP kits aren't just for travel. If someone has to go to work every day, if they're running late, if they don't have the time, if they just have too much anxiety in that very moment, they can take this kit with them and take it when they're ready. Having a discreet accessory for that very purpose gives a feeling of freedom and control, which eliminates a lot of anxiety that comes with having to take regular injections. At this point, I'd like to tell you thank you and now open it up for Q&A.
Thank you. And now we open it up to the judges.
Hi, Rexon. I have a couple of questions. Thank you for your presentation. Most immediately, I'm very curious about your sales channels. How do you sell your product and how do folks hear about it?
I mainly been doing influencer marketing. So basically I find guys with very high followings within the trans community. I send them some products for free. They repost it on their social media accounts that have 50,000 to 100,000 followers. And at that point, it's just a snowball effect and more people see it. So the more influencers I get, the more eyes come to my product. So I sell through Shopify, if that's like asking, answering your question. I sell through Shopify, but everything is done through Instagram. I really don't do any Google ads. I haven't done any real paid advertising. But now, with this opportunity, that's where I want to take my business to the next level. I know I have something great. It's just needs that push.
Hey, Brax, Justin here. A nice presentation.
Thank
Question for you. Have you looked at, I don't remember hearing a sales a cost associated with it. Have you looked at different price points for different audiences? And in full disclosure, we've talked before. I know you, so I'm going to ask a question that has a little bit more background than some might have heard in that. But do you have a scale of price point there that you're thinking about? And we had talked at one point about you potentially finding a way to make the product a little more cost effective to do more mass marketing through promo products with pharma companies, healthcare companies, and so forth. Is that something that you've continued on in your search here for clients?
Yes, definitely. We're making a large profit margin, as we had spoke before. So for those pharmaceutical companies, or for any major deals of that nature, the price would definitely be cut substantially, still making everybody a great profit at the end of the day, because there's such a huge profit margin on the products right now, that it's easily for us to slash that price right in half and still make a great profit.
Hey,
Thank you. And
Braxton.
Carla?
Yeah, just a really short, great job, Braxton.
Thank you.
Curious, where are these products made?
They're made overseas in China.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
Great, thanks.
Hey, Braxton, on that point, have you found any challenges, or is it sort of back to normal now with COVID in terms of getting your product out of China? Have you seen a lag time, or if someone came in with a large order tomorrow, you would be able to fulfill it?
Yes, actually I was very blessed. I had actually, right before COVID hit the United States, I want to say about in January, I had made a really big bulk order for products. So right before it got really bad, like a month or so before, I was able to get those products. And then there was a period of time because of the Chinese New Year, and then COVID hit. There was a lot of confusion there, but since I didn't need product at that time, it really didn't affect my business. The only thing that I would say was affected was the shipping times now are a little bit extended, just because of, the mass amount of orders that they're still doing for other companies and so forth. They got backed up on that because of COVID. But at this point, there really hasn't been any, like I just made a big purchase May the 28th, and I'm waiting for that to come in any day now. So it's still pretty much on target with how much, the regular days for mass production. So it hasn't really changed much at this point.
I'm curious what your average sales monthly are, or quarterly. If you've looked at that, that would be helpful.
So right now, with no real marketing, we're making at least 120 orders a month. So that's like close to 5,000 gross profit a month.
And thank you.
Mhm.
We're going to move to the next finalist. Thank you so much, Braxton, and also thank you for your patience with the technical issues that we have there.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So the next finalist will be Abby. And let me make sure that you have mouse control. Oh, almost. There we go.
Looks like I'm controlling it. So
Awesome.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Abby Sugar, and my company Playout Apparel is an e-commerce underwear and athleisure brand with no need for the binary of gender. Now it's not working.
All right. There you go.
Our vision is inclusive fashion for our diverse world. What if you could shop by style and not by gender? Who are we? Why underwear? And why is gender affirming apparel important? Well, as members of the LGBTQ plus community, queer fashion is who we are. I founded Play Out because my friends and I couldn't find underwear that we wanted to wear. Legacy brands reinforce or are limited to hypergendered styles. What I mean by this is that women's underwear tends to be very pink, pastel, lace, and flower color covered, while men's underwear just doesn't fit right and doesn't have a flattering look. My co-founder, E. Lyford, joined my mission because they identify as non-binary and we believe in the need for this apparel to exist. They bring over 20 years of experience in the e-commerce and fashion industry, most recently as Director of Creative Production for Intermix Online. We know that humans come in a multiplicity of gender expressions, and we want everyone to authentically express themselves and feel happy, sexy, and comfortable in their own skin. Back in 2015, 81% of Gen Z said that gender doesn't define a person as much as it used to. As of today, Gen Z commands $143 billion in buying power, and research shows that 56% of them shop outside of their assigned gender. Play Out offers gender equal clothing to help the LGBTQ plus community shop their authentic selves, to find and buy sexuality and gender expression affirming apparel with affordable price points, unique artistic designs, and an inclusive shopping experience. We are sexuality, gender, race, size from extra small to 5X, age, and ability inclusive. Our website is live, and here are some examples of our current product offering. We do not have men's or women's sections, but we encourage our customers to shop by style and not by gender. All of our styles are available equally across prints and colors, so there's no subliminal allocation of gender, such as pink is for girls and blue is for boys. We also currently offer gender equal tank tops, tees, and accessories, and we work with LGBTQ plus artists and allies to offer limited edition prints. In fact, my co-founder E is a painter and hand paints on canvas many of our prints. So these are paintings that are then digitized and printed on the fabric. As I mentioned, our website is live and we're generating revenue. We have established brand recognition in the LGBTQ plus community, which includes website traffic, a social media following, and sales. In fact, we've been seeing an average of 17% week over week growth since March 1st, even during coronavirus. We receive messages weekly from new customers, and I want to read a couple comments that mean absolutely so much to us. So first, someone said, I wanted to just say that I appreciate your clothing brand. It's not just any clothing brand. It's a brand that doesn't have a gender, a brand that we can all finally look at and be proud of instead of constantly battling with labels. I'm rooting for your company to grow. And another really important comment that we received recently said, as a genderqueer person who dreads shopping because of how traumatic it can get in a society determined not to let you live as yourself, especially back when I was a more impressionable teenager, I want to thank you so much for creating a business that caters to people like me and treats us as normal and worthy of respect, and to find clothes that fit, arbitrary gender norms be damned. Leading off of that, this quote about Gen Z is absolutely on point. They will only wear clothing that aligns with their values, has a social cause, and represents who they really are. Our commitment to our values is a big reason we've been seeing growth right now with very little capital investment. We are a values and mission-driven company, allowing us to authentically engage with and support our customers during the global pandemic, and to provide donations to LGBTQ plus causes and the Black Lives Matter movement. We're in the process of formalizing our revenue model as a social good enterprise around donating 20% of net proceeds to LGBTQ plus and Black Lives Matter organizations. In terms of our product, our next release will be longer inseam underwear cut and jock straps for people of all genders. As part of our greater mission, we're also launching a members-only tribe subscription part of our site for exclusive content and access to first looks and special offers. We also know that Gen Z lives in activewear, so we are designing our apparel expansion to be the first gender equal athleisure lifestyle brand. Here's a snapshot of the market. We're targeting a niche SOM of $13.6 billion, which is the 17% of Gen Z that identifies as LGBTQ+. As I mentioned, we sell direct to consumer starting at $15 MSRP for our current styles. Even though coronavirus has disrupted some supply chains, we have an incredible relationship with our manufacturer in Guadalajara, and we've been seeing healthy sales of our current inventory, and we'll be receiving replenishment inventory and our new releases within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Our marketing strategy leverages press cycles around dates and events that are important to our community, such as Pride Month, and working with LGBTQ+ influencers for hosting ongoing conversations about topics that affect our community. We invest in partnerships and sponsor events that further our social good work. For example, as the main sponsors last weekend of Pride Fest 2020, which was a streaming celebration of LGBTQ+ music. We donated 100% of net proceeds to Outright International's COVID response and the Black Lives Matter global movement. The gender equal apparel market is a new market, so competitors range from those offering apparel exclusively to the cisgendered market and those serving the needs of LGBTQ+ shoppers. Nike, I like to point out that Nike is aware of the market opportunity here and recently did a gender equal marketing campaign, but this came across as disingenuous and inauthentic. Playout is building a platform of love, belonging, and inclusion through our apparel. Specifically, we will use this grant to pay for building the membership component that I mentioned. This includes web development, a UX designer, technical capabilities. By creating this platform, we'll be able to facilitate more collaboration with the community and provide a safe online space for them to engage with us and with each other and to see themselves reflected. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. And for the judges, we'll start with Justin.
Hey, Abby, great presentation. I appreciate seeing the price point. Also, very nice job in laying out what you've done thus far in terms of your community reinvestment and what your plan is for more. You know, you've talked about your direct to consumer, assuming you don't want to go the big box store route or Amazon. I'm just wondering, what is it that keeps you up at night?
Absolutely. What keeps me up at night is actually being excited about all the initiatives that we're working on, and also world domination. So, you know, we are seeing this fall of the big box stores, of the big box department stores, but I truly believe that brick and mortar is not dead. So we do work directly with small boutiques. We do have some small wholesale accounts, and we are working on an omni-channel retail strategy to, with investment, open our own stores eventually. We do have a vision of gender equal shopping for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Carlo.
That was excellent. I had a question. Do you have a catchphrase or something that goes with your brand?
Yeah, so we have a couple. One is no binary required. And then another one that we have been doing recently in relationship to COVID is pants drunk pride. In European countries, pants is what they call underwear, and there was a whole thing, we're stuck at home in our underwear, so people are getting drunk in their underwear, they're getting pants drunk. And so we're queer, pants drunk pride, and of course play out with pride is what we use on all of our influencers and that type of thing.
I love it. I love the idea of genderless branding. That's amazing. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. And Naima.
Fabulous presentation. I loved it. My heart is centered in small business, and so I love to hear that you are thinking about a brick and mortar. I'm very curious what scaling looks like as you're maintaining your niche market and being really thoughtful about that. So as you're thinking about how do we scale the brand and the investment, what does that plan look like? And as part of that question, I'm wondering if you could speak more to, is it just the two of you for the team? Do you have a larger team? Do you plan to expand that team?
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions. For us, especially where we are right now, and for who we are, my co-founder E and I, we are a huge part of our brand, and that speaks to the culture in the company that we're building. So directly to your question, in terms of scaling, we make sure that every sponsorship or every influencer partnership that we enter into, we have a process for sort of making sure that they align with our brand. And that extends as well to future interviews that we would do with first hires, right? So at the moment, it is E&I, and we have a PR marketing director, Drew Brown, who is like part of the family. We love him to death. And so he's amazing. He does our organic social, and we also have an advertising manager. These are freelancers that we work very closely with. And we're working on hiring a COO. It's in process, really exciting times for us right now in terms of our growth and scaling.
And I had a follow-up question. Do I have time for that?
1 minute, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Really quickly, I was really curious about how you're going to increase that returning customer rate. I know that you're working on it. You talked about sort of the monthly subscription program, but just what other thoughts have you given to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our limited edition prints are a big part of that. So we have a really great relationship with our manufacturer. So we're able to run small prints and small runs. They do them in-house. So it's digitally printed. So we can get small minimums and be constantly coming out with new prints. So it's really exciting if someone likes us and they like our style, they want to get it in the new print that we've just released. And we also, part of working with artists and queer artists and allies, is that their pieces are limited edition. So all of their followers who love their artwork then want to get this very special underwear, and also we're expanding into other apparel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we are going to listen to Ben, and I'm going to make sure that we give him mouse control. There we go. It's all you, Ben.
All right, let's see if I can do this. All right. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Ben Kennard, and I am the founder at 5 North Chocolate, and we are empowering farmers and celebrating diversity with our favorite treat. I really set out to start this company to solve a problem, and that problem lies in West Africa. As competition for higher chocolate market shares continues to increase, the people getting marginalized are the cacao farmers on the ground. Today, more than 2 million cacao farmers alone earn less than $1.25 a day in West Africa. And this generation and the next generation of cacao farmers actually doesn't see a future in the industry because they're not earning back what they should be. And they're seeking other work, and it's already leading to a global cocoa shortage, which would be a really scary thing. But we're also noting a number of trends happening in the US. So the chocolate industry is growing at a consistent rate of 4% every year, and dark chocolate at twice that rate. Meanwhile, 80% of Americans are willing to pay more for food that's healthy, and 66% of Americans identify as socially conscious. So, we have to figure out how can we kind of capitalize on this socially conscious consumer, and how can we actually reach them? And this is where the opportunity comes in. The consumer landscape is clearly changing. These new age, socially conscious consumers are engaged, they're self-educating before they buy things, and they're seeking authenticity in what they're buying. And this is really reflected in their seeking towards pure and healthy products that make a true difference through mission-based brands. And this is where we come in. So when we juxtapose the problem that we wanted to solve with the trends that we were seeing in the US, this opportunity really does manifest into a delicious line of chocolate snacks. They are all plant-based, fair trade certified. They come in adorable cube-shaped bite-sized pieces. They're 72% cacao. They have fun superfood flavors like pistachio sea salt, which is our best seller. And they're all packaged in resealable stand-up pouches, so perfect for on-the-go, guilt-free snacking. Now, this is a chocolate company. I would be naive to say that there isn't competition. Of course, there's competition, and a lot of it, but we do believe we have the edge. So when you look at what the market is pulling towards these days, you see lots of ethical chocolate companies popping up on the market, lots of more fair trade options. People are seeking fair trade. They're also looking for convenient snacks. They're looking for grab-and-go, bite-sized things that they can take with them. And they're looking for healthier, clean label ingredients that they can feel good about eating. And finally, they're looking for fun, unique flavors that they've never tried before. And there are lots of companies who are filling these needs in the market today, but no company is really capitalizing on all of these needs. And that's exactly where we come in. But this is chocolate, so really, what does make us special? Well, like I mentioned, the first ingredient in all of our chocolate snacks is cacao. This is the fruit that makes chocolate possible. And I believe that's what we really need to be talking to consumers about, and that's what they want to hear. All of our chocolate and our cacao is fair trade certified, which means that farmers on the ground are earning a fair wage for their work. Fair trade isn't just part of our solution or part of our package or part of our product, it's also part of my passion. So for the past 10 years, I've been an international fair trade advocate. And for my work in the movement, Fair Trade International named me one of the top 10 biggest fair trade advocates in the world and #1 in the US. We're also focused on the well-being of our customer, who's actually eating and consuming our product. So all of our ingredients are clean label. We make sure that there's nothing to hide in all of our snacks. And finally, we really do put an emphasis on diversity and LGBTQ visibility. So just last year, we became the first brand ever to put the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce seal on a packaged good. And this really is shifting the conversation, especially with some of our larger partners, about what it means to be visible and out in the workplace. So who is our customer? Who's actually buying and enjoying our product? Well, I lovingly call our customers ingredient readers. They're the type of people who don't really care what's on the front of the package or what's being marketed to them, but they flip it right over. They know how to analyze the nutrition facts table and an ingredient statement. They're passionate ambassadors for the markets that they are in, whether that's plant-based or LGBTQ owned, or maybe it's fair trade. So we're reaching these customers right now in dozens of gourmet food stores and specialty gift shops and hotel mini bars, and with some really cool strategic partners like Bank of America, where we're now sold in their executive pantries and corporate cafes. So we're also seeking some other distribution. We've started conversations with companies like Starbucks, and we know that we'd be a great fit for those larger players as well. So to date, we've had some really great community engagement. We've gotten our name and our story in front of lots of different people, really for the sake of getting productive feedback to help us shape who we are. Our commitment to action was accepted by the Clinton Global Initiative University. We've been featured by President Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, as well as a few other awards and accolades to date. We've also had some really validating press over the years. It's been really important to share our story and to see how people react to it. And that's what's been really validating about this, is that people do get excited about a healthy chocolate snack brand that can change the world. And I'm really proud to say that we're ready for these bigger players. We're ready to grow, and we are scaling now. So if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, that's a photo of me in a hairnet producing all of our chocolate in a commercial kitchen in the middle of the night, just batch by batch, usually just like a couple hundred units at a time. And eventually we scaled to really produce more at a time. So now we're capable of producing around 10,000 units in a single run with our co-manufacturer. So this is allowing us to get on the stores at grocery stores and really start to seek after some high profile accounts. What's next? This is super exciting. We are creating a single serve 1 ounce package. Our current package is 2.5 ounces for reference. And I'm super excited to say that we are upgrading our recipe to an all organic, certified organic recipe, which will be great for lots of our customers who look for that, as well as some more price accessible customers who are looking for a smaller grab and go item that they can share with a larger audience. So in conclusion, we have a great product market fit. We have a unique, authentic grassroots brand with a great story. We've earned credible press that has been really validating, and we're finally reaching scale for larger partners. So, we really do believe in guiltless chocolate snacks that can change the world. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ben. We're going to turn to the judges for questions, starting with Naima.
Thank you, Ben, for your presentation. I wanted to loop back because I know that you opened your presentation talking about the difference between the market in West Africa and the market in the US. And I wanted to come back and understand a little bit more about how that ties into the cacao farmers that you mentioned earlier. We didn't quite loop back to there. So I just want to understand the connection. And then also succinctly just talk about a little bit more of how you're changing the world with this product. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Naima. So when we talk about fair trade is a third-party certification. So luckily for us, as a really small company, we can't yet work directly with farmers all across in West Africa. I wish that we could, and I think one day we will be able to. So right now we rely on that certification actually to tell the story, which is humbly much larger than we are, the story of fair and ethical trade. So we do that through US-based importers. So we do have some generic farmer stories on the ground in West Africa that we can share about the work that fair trade is doing in those farming communities, but we don't have direct access to our quote unquote farmers. And to answer your second question about how we're changing the world, I'm really glad you asked that because, you know, we really are focused on creating a healthier chocolate snack. Our original tagline is and has always been changing the way people think about chocolate. So I don't want people to feel guilty when they consume, you know, a candy like chocolate. I want them to feel great about it. I want them to know that they can support farming communities across the world through something like fair trade. I want them to know that they can nourish their body through something like the fruit of cacao. And I want them now to know that they can start a conversation about diversity and visibility in the workplace and in entrepreneurship and in the business world in the US.
Thank you, Naima. Carlo.
Hey, Ben, great job. Curious, how do you plan on spending the funds?
Yeah, so that will actually be spent on our new package that I showed before. So that is, you know, every time that we want to introduce a new product or a new flavor, there's a lot that goes into it. And that will come with the design of the package, the production of the package. We need to buy ingredients up front, and then we actually have to pay for half of the production run up front before we're able to take any of that product out, then sell it to stores and hopefully get paid in 30 days. So all of that $5,000 grant would be used for the upfront costs that come with a new production run. And that will help us significantly produce at least over 10,000 units of that smaller package that I showed. Thanks, Carlo.
And Justin.
Hey, Ben, good to see you. I guess I have the distinct pleasure of having sampled all of the types of chocolate you have, so I can vouch for it. It is delicious. I'm just curious if you could share what's your biggest roadblock to mass distribution? Is it investment, revenue? Is it scalability? Is it all of the above? What is it?
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say that puzzle that you just mentioned, each piece plays a role. I would say one of the biggest is our margins. So when we want to play with bigger grocery stores, you know, they are really operating in the pay to play model. So we need to go in with buying shelf space and being ready for offering major discounts to their customers to get them interested in the brand. So we need to have the margins so that we can do that. And to do that, we need to scale. So I would say it's a combination of getting in front of those grocery stores and being ready for them, but also actually having the margins to allow us to do that.
And are you currently taking on investment, or is it still the friends, family sales that, you know, net with what you've had from your gross sales? How's that working?
Yeah, right now, everything that we make goes right back into the business. You know, and we are definitely right now focused on the Ureeka Connect model where we can pitch and you know, get some seed funding from various sources. I would say we're gearing up and preparing for investment, right? We're a very investable business. We're scalable, we're growing. And I would say at this point, we've started to have some conversations with investors, and when the right timing comes along, the right investor comes along, and the right deal does, I'd be super excited to blow this out of the water.
Don't wait too long.
Okay. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you. So audience, we have now heard from 3 of the finalists, and we've gotten some of the questions from the judges. They will take the time to compute their scores, and we want to hear from you. My colleague will send out a poll, which you'll fill out to help determine who is the audience favorite while the judges score. It's amazing to see like all the stuff coming in live. A lot of shifting here. All right. It looks like we have a fan favorite. And it is Abby Sugar with Playout.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, everyone viewing.
Congratulations. And now we're going to turn to the judging score. There you go. All right. So it looks like we have them in. Okay. Wherever you are, start your drum rolls, your lap rolls, your wall rolls. In third place, we have 5 North Chocolate walking away with $2,500. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
In second place, we have Stealth Bros & Co. Congratulations. So that means the winner is Abby Sugar with Playout Apparel. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much to all the viewers for voting me fan favorite as well. This is going to be amazing. It's going to make a huge difference for the community that we're building on our site.
And this was incredible. All 3 of you did a wonderful job. It's been a joy to see every one of your presentations and to see how you all are making an impact, not just in the business community, but also in the LGBTQ community. One last plug again for Ureeka Connect. This is an opportunity that takes place every month. If you like to see more of these opportunities and like to pitch yourself, please do join us at community.ureeka.biz, and we will happily take you through this process and connect you to opportunities like these. Thank you so much. It has been wonderful to have you all, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
everyone.
much, judges.
Bye.
Thank you, Travis.
Y'all did a great job.
Thanks,
Bye.
Eureka.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody.
Thanks, everyone.